Thanks everybody for joining us. For those of you who don't know me, I'm your Mayor Cris Kaminskas. Welcome. And thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here tonight to hear about our proposed Trailhead Clubhouse project.
My name is Steve Roth with Architects West. Just real quickly, I want to introduce the rest of my team. This is Joey Taves, an architect. We're working together on this. Carly Agee from Boughton Construction, if you'd raise your hand. Jonathan Miller from OAC. Keith Dixon is our landscape architect, and Scott McGlockin from Boughton Construction. There's an option that fits the budget. There's an expanded option with a few bonus items that's a little bit beyond the budget. So we are saving the existing foundation from the clubhouse that exists now and building on top of that as a cost-saving measure. The parking lot will add a number of spaces. I think the total we're up to right now is 122 stalls is what we're up to right now. There's a 3-lane entry exit from the new parking lot, so there are turn lanes out in both directions. There is golf cart parking associated with the driving range building. There's also a golf cart staging area. To the right is the existing driving range. That building is going to remain, and the driving range is not part of this project. The pathways, et cetera, that you see around the new golf course clubhouse building are part of the redevelopment of the site circulation, so that bringing golf carts up from the lower level is easier than it is now. Every part of the building is fully accessible to people with disabilities. This is what we're referring to as the budget option. So $6.4 million is the price tag. This is the minimum functional building. It includes everything that is needed by the city and for operation of the golf course. The green spaces are the golf shop, essentially the pro shop. There's a pro shop retail sales area that has a view of tee number 1, green number 9, and supervision of people that are coming to use the golf course. There's small spaces up in the upper left that are associated with that pro shop, support spaces such as office, break room, restrooms, et cetera. To the right of that pro shop, oriented horizontally, is one simulator bay. The light blue area is the flex space. It's a leasable or event space that's leasable, rentable by the public for various events. It can hold up to 80 people. That flex space has access down on the page out onto a deck. It's got an indoor-outdoor connection right there with exterior doors that open up to really open up the whole wall from the flex space to the exterior. So an event can spill out onto the deck with views of the golf course. Those gray spaces up there are essentially necessary support spaces. They're storage, they're restrooms, entry vestibule, circulation, and connection to the restaurant to the right. The darker blue space is the restaurant. That'll fill in with kitchen area, bar, seating, all of those things that the restaurant will have. They also have access onto the deck. That indoor-outdoor connection is something that initially was a very important design principle. So that's the budget option, $6.4 million. There's wood look siding, there's stone siding, there is some metal siding. All of it is low maintenance. The wood siding is not real wood, it's a wood look that's a zero maintenance material, so we're not saddling the city with maintenance costs. They're long lifespan materials. The existing foundation of the clubhouse that's saved is where all the golf carts will be stored. So in this option, the price tag is $6,995,000. And it includes everything that was in the previous slide with the addition of a few items. One of those is an expanded deck space. So you can see instead of an L-shaped deck, now it wraps all the way around. So the indoor-outdoor connection to the flex space is enhanced in this option. There is a second simulator bay. And you can see that right above the one that was in the budget option. So there are 2 of those. And the reason for the 2 has to do somewhat with return on investment. There's a hallway at the top in the gray areas that connects pro shop to flex space to restaurant in an indoor way. So this way the restaurant can very easily deliver food to events in the flex space. It can also deliver food or drinks to the simulator bays. And the light blue flex space has become bigger to hold events of up to 100 people. If there's an event in the flex of 100, there could be another 60 people out on the deck. So basically in the expanded option, you get a second simulator bay, an expanded 100-person flex space, an additional deck that's also associated with that flex space, as well as that indoor connection across the building. The last thing that you get on that one is far right. There's an exterior space or there's an enclosed space next to the restaurant that would house all of their kind of deliveries and grease and garbage and things like that. In the budget option, those would be outdoor. Here they would be enclosed to keep them visually concealed. So that is the expanded option. So the price tag $6,995,000. And this is the basement plan. There's not really a lot to talk about here. It's purely storage, functional space. Most of it is golf cart parking. So those carts can be stored indoors, keeping them out of the weather. There is a little bit of restaurant lease space down here to be determined what they're going to use that for. That's the existing footprint of that foundation that, again, is being reused. So the simulators, this is obviously difficult to read here, but they are a multi-use item, not just golf oriented. They serve many functions, I guess, and many different uses for the community and for citizens. So you can see all the different sports listed up there. There can be events held in those simulator bays, and they can be a very powerful revenue generator for the city.
City Council approved a budget for the building of $6.4 million. With the expanded option, we're getting a second simulator. And so we can actually make the case that that second simulator does pay on an annual basis for the increase in cost. We are able to fund this through our real estate excise tax funds and our golf operations funds, which means there are not going to be any increased taxes. There isn't any increase in taxation project at all.
If anybody else has a question or quick statement before we, behind you, Aaron, and then.
What's the difference in the parking availability?
So right now it's right around 78 to 80 and it'll bump to 122. So that's the intent. So it'll be significantly different. The flow of it's going to be significantly better, getting trailers and trucks in and out.
There is going to be an impact to the use of the golf course through the summer. And that our intent is to minimize that as much as possible. The intent is to finish half of the parking lot, turn that back over to the users, take the second part of the parking lot and the building itself. So the building will actually be coming down in late August. And so that'll allow Chris's team and Palenque's to stay in that space and operate for as long as possible before we take that.
For the expanded part, how would that be paid for?
So for the expanded part, the return on investment for simulators is very significant. And so right now in the budget option, we have space for one simulator bay. In the expanded option, we have space for two. And in the expanded option, we are actually purchasing the simulators as well. And so we would be able to hit the ground running in the expanded option and be able to see that return on investment right away. We're forecasting about $96,000 a year at half capacity for two simulators. And so with this added option, we're going to extend the bond payment up to an additional $600,000. That equates to about $40,000 worth of additional annual payment. And so you can see if you split that 96,000, we can then justify the added cost going straight back into that bond payment and potentially paying those off early. The annual payments will come from our real estate excise taxes, and any added golf operation revenue will be contributed first, followed by real estate excise tax. If there's any reason ever necessary, and for financing purposes, we'll use the general fund as a backup, but that's never intended to be used for annual payments.
So over the last 10 years or so, I've had many people have come to me for tournaments, and usually what happens is go to set everything up, and then they want to have their banquet, and then I walk them downstairs and they see where our banquet facility is, and then they decide to go somewhere else. Yeah, over the years, I've definitely lost some revenue there of tournaments that have gone other places, just basically because of that after golf revenue we missed.
In the budget option, there is the absolute minimum number of toilet stalls in each bathroom. It's code minimum. So it's as much as we could squeeze into that budget. In the expanded option, we've added one fixture per toilet room. So not a lot, but it is more than code minimum in that case. And given, you know, the dollars that we have available, that's as much as we can push into the building right now.
We really appreciate everybody being here. It's great to see so much participation from the public. This is a huge milestone project for the city to take on, and we're real excited about it.